Ever since starting this YouTube series, I knew that the goal was to get the fire cape. But before we try to get our hands on the fire cape, let's start by going back to the very beginning of this journey. My first milestone was to reach base 50. It was during this time I learned not only how to recharge my prayer, but also how to use it. I experienced being chased in the wilderness, and I went up to the wrong trees during my farming runs. But let us also watch and see the progress I did. Once I had reached base 50, I wanted to explore Gielinor through questing. It was during this time that I began to realize that I need to start practicing PVM if I ever want to get my hands on the fire cape. So this is when I went and challenged both the giant mole and the king black dragon. I soon realized that all the roads led to the fight caves. The time had come for me to turn my focus on getting the fire cape. I decided to first do this test run. I wanted to feel how the waves and the monsters were going to treat me, just to get a feeling on what to actually expect. So in my book, I don't count this as a real first try. I did make it to wave 38, which I never thought that I would, since I had done zero research. And as you can see, I did not turn off the auto retaliate, so I kept running like this towards the monster all the time. So, what am I going to wear and bring with me to the fight caves? I had done a lot of research, and this is what I chose for the run and the best things I could get. I went for the Armadillo Blessed D'hide armor, Amulet of Fury, Ring of the Gods, Ava's Accumulator, the Dragon Crossbow, Diamond Bolts E, and the Book of Law. To the right, you can see that my defense is level 60. Ranged is 76 and that the prayer is at level 52. Into the caves I'm bringing a bastion potion for boosting my ranged and defense. Saradomin brew because I will probably need to heal myself, but it's also good for boosting the hit points and defense. Super restore because I need to restore my stats. And I'm also bringing one stamina potion, because I don't want to end up in a situation that I can't run away from. You will now see me going into the caves for my first real try. I was feeling ready and I had prepared myself only for me to die, because I activated the magic prayer too late. This doesn't make me sad or anything, just more frustrated. Alright, so it's time for my second try. I remember that I felt pretty confident here, but that I also realized that the only PVM I had been doing at this point was the giant mole and the KBD. Let's just say that the seconds before going into the fight caves made me a bit shaky. So the waves are fine, because I have this plugin that shows me what and where the monsters are going to spawn. A tactic I used was to pause for a bit before killing the last monster of a wave, just to plan where I would stand when the next wave started. I did this to get the Major to follow me. I wanted to be standing on the north side of the cliff in the end of this wave, since Jad was going to spawn on the south side. But then this happened. One word: disappointment. I'm not stopping you who are watching this from laughing, but I can assure you that I did not laugh. From the second that I started posting these YouTube videos, I thought and even pretended that I didn't put pressure on myself. But the second I died from Jad, I did realize that that is exactly what I've been doing. That is why I actually let myself be sad when this happened before reflecting on what actually happened. I remember that I thought that Jad attacked me with magic, and that isn't something that I can go back and change. I lost a fight in a way that I was not prepared for, in a game that I really enjoy playing. That's it. Later that day, I went into the fight caves again and made it through 60 waves, and then I saved Jad for the next day. And just like in the last run, I did this to get the Major to follow me. I wanted to be standing on the north side of the cliff when Jad spawns on the south side. So, the time had come for me to face Jad again. I was trying my hardest to be as calm as possible here, but I was so afraid of dying to Jad just like I did the last time. Ranged. 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 Magic. Ranged. Ranged. Magic. Ranged. Ranged. Magic.
Ranged. Magic. Magic. Ranged. Magic. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Please accept this gift. If I had a heartbeat sensor right now, it would be like when Settled was at the Colosseum. I just know it. I am so happy. I'm so happy.
So, seeing the duration of this run, 3 hours and 4 minutes, I would say that it was actually maybe 2.5 hours. But at the same time, 2.5 hours is probably still pretty long. But going in again after losing the way I did last time, I really wanted to make sure I made it this time. But I sure took my time, which I certainly did between all the later waves, because I wanted to make sure I started the next wave standing in the right spot. Now that I have calmed down a bit, I have some thoughts about this whole experience. I do think that the waves up to wave 62 weren't that tricky, because I had this plugin where I could see where the monsters were going to spawn, so that made it quite easy. But I also want to say that I am really proud that the first time I met Jad for longer than one attack, I actually killed him. And what a great ending to this Fire Cape journey. I'm actually standing at the exact same place I was standing in my first ever YouTube video. I want to say a huge thank you to all of you for subscribing to my YouTube, following me on my socials, and to you who are writing to me and asking me how the fight for the Fire Cape is going. I can finally answer you by saying that it went well and that I got the cape. Thank you for watching. I see you in the next video. Bye!